From the factories to the fields, Michigan supplied the war machine with everything from guns, tanks, bombers, planes, and ships to livestock, crops, and rations. Today, we're going to take a deeper look into how Michigan helped the U.S. win World War II. Months before the events at Pearl Harbor had occurred, Charlie Sorensen, Ford's foremost production guru, decided to build a mile-long plant outside Ypsilanti, Michigan. Edsel Ford and Sorensen were creating this factory for one reason: to create the most destructive bomber in the American arsenal, the B-24 Liberator. At the end of it all, there were around 8,500 bombers created. Production of the plant began in 1941 and was finished in 1945. The plant was able to push out a Liberator at the rate of 1 per hour and was deemed the greatest single manufacturing plant the world has ever seen by the Washington Post. Detroit has many nicknames: Motor City, Motown, and Hockey Town to name a few, but one that sticks out the most is the Arsenal of Democracy. This comes from the mass amounts of tanks and other war items created here during World War II. Over 25,000 tanks were created during the war. Located now in the suburb of Warren lies the Detroit Arsenal Tank Plant. This was created by Chrysler during the beginning years of the war. The goal of this plant was to build swarms of tanks to send overseas to aid the war effort. Here, M4 Sherman tanks were the main vehicle created and sent out onto the fronts. Michigan did not only create bombers and tanks, it also created more than 4 million engines and 200,000 mobile units for the war fronts. The factories that were making cars and motor vehicles had stopped the production of them and started helping create machines and items for the war. While many factories were busy creating tanks and other vehicles, a building on Woodward Avenue was cooking up a top-secret item: the atomic bomb. Though the bomb was not actually made there, a crucial part to it was. Engineers designed diffusers, metal containers, that would not corrode during the processes uranium would go through inside of the bomb. Many of those diffusers were used in the building of Little Boy, the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. To sum all of this up, Michigan was one, if not the most important place in the U.S. creating vehicles and materials for World War II. Not only did the state supply war crafts, it also gave the soldiers weapons and foods for the front lines. Without the help from Detroit, the United States may have not won the war.